Stephen Mosher is a China expert and he joins me now. Stephen, the big sticking point seems to be rare earths exports from China to America. That seems to be their leverage. Where do we stand on that?
Well, look, China is always looking for points of vulnerability to gain an advantage over the United States. And it has a lock on rare earths, right? We need them to make our advanced electronics equipment. We have let China get in a position of dominance globally in rare earths, and we've got to do something about that. We've got to produce our own rare earths ultimately to get this leverage away from China, because they will continue to use it. You know, I met Wilbur Ross during the first term of the Trump administration. When he talks about an enforcement mechanism, I don't know what that can be, because the Chinese will always keep coming back. We have to understand that the Chinese Communist Party is intent on dominating the United States, dominating the world. They kind of operate as a hive mind, thinking alike. They think Americans are naive, innocent, and easily deceived. And they've, quite frankly, deceived us over and over again. So it's reasonable they would think that. I don't know what kind of concessions we're going to need to make in the short term, but over the long term, we have to extricate ourselves from any vulnerability to China, whether it be pharmaceuticals, rare earths, or anything else.
Here's another possible vulnerability. Another Chinese scientist has been charged with smuggling illegal biomaterial into this country, into America. Do you think that Xi Jinping knows about this?
I think that Xi Jinping and the leaders of the Chinese Communist Party know almost everything that happens in China. It is a high-tech digital dictatorship. Everyone is under surveillance all the time. And I think that we need to go back a couple of years to when a Chinese scientist was opening a lab in the Central Valley of California. That was only discovered by accident, and the Biden administration tried to hush it up. I remember it clearly because the lab was not very far from where I grew up in the Central Valley of California. But instead of setting up labs here, I think that China has found it easier to use our own labs against us, to send material to laboratory scientists, Chinese scientists who may have some connection with China's People's Liberation Army bioweapons program, and use our own labs against us. And how easy it would be for some of these dangerous pathogens to leak out of the lab. Does anyone remember the disaster of the COVID lab leak from the Wuhan lab?
Well, we don't seem to have any comparable leverage over them.
Well, we do. They want access to our consumer market in terms of punishment, in terms of tariffs, in terms of restricting them from selling their goods to the American public. We have a tremendous amount of access, and that is critical for the success of their economy. And so we can always take that away from them if we need to.
Got it. Stephen Mosher, thanks very much for being with us this morning. A good man at the right place in the right time. Thank you very much indeed, Stephen. We'll see you again real soon.
Thank you.
You got it.